Hello, Sixth Bell. I am not here today, but I wish I was. I'm at a boring meeting, and it's an all-day kind of a thing, and they call it a cohort, which is a ridiculous word. And so that's where I am. I'm at a cohort, okay? And I don't know where to look. In Third Bell's video, I looked this way, and then it looked weird. And so I'm trying to look a little more this way, but I can't tell if it's going to show up straight or not. So forgive me if I'm looking in weird places. So I just wanted to capture a couple of our thoughts from yesterday. We had really good discussions about the three ads and point out a few things that I saw and talk about how the boardroom might work if we were to go forward with what we did. Okay, so let me kind of shift gears here. I don't know how to switch out of selfie mode to get to the ads very helpfully. So let me pull those up and point out just a few of my observations, okay? Can you see those? Okay. This was your guys' work, and it was really good work, and we had really good discussion, which I really appreciate. Miss May was there from central office observing in the back, and she had really positive things to say about you guys and the depth of the discussion, how some of our observations grew about building ethos and logos during the course of the day. So I think that's fantastic. Anytime you make me look good, I'm all in favor of you, okay? All right, so having thought about this and looked at this, I've come up with a couple of things that I think. I think the Michael Vick ad of the three has the most clearly defined logos, okay? The clearest reasoning. They've given us good stats, help us find a home. And then this line, if Michael Vick is willing to give Lucky a chance, won't you? And this is where they've tied in Vick and his story. If even this guy who used to do vicious, horrible things to animals is willing to give this three-legged dog a home, and I'd hate to think of what other images Hannah saw on the Google image search for three-legged dogs, but this one is appropriately cute enough, I think. Every animal deserves a chance, just like little Lucky here, Michael Vick says. So because Michael Vick will give a chance, and because of this need, therefore, you should adopt a pet today. My thing I would like to see them do is, I think adopt a pet should be in bold or maybe even bigger underneath here. And I think that would help with some of our discussion in class yesterday from the call to action. But overall, that's a minor quibble that I have with their logic and their visual. And I thought their presentation, although not flashy, was full of good information. They handled the inartistic and artistic logos and how the ethos was used really well, and I thought they were very solid in that, okay? The Kim Kardashian, or some Kardashian, there's a lot of them apparently, the ad up here, okay, about the Spanish book, I thought did some things well, and it was clever, and I like that they took a risk with their presentation. I do think that the observation in class, that they kind of had some flash with the presentation that seemed a little disconnected from the content, was a good observation. Had they like blended in their explanations into that Kardashian dinner, I think that would have been even more like compelling, okay? In their explanation, I found their like logic to be confusing. As they explained the logos, it was unclear. They would say things like, they're appropriate for this audience because they're annoying and irritating. And I couldn't quite like see where they were trying to come from for why. I just couldn't quite like make all the connections that they were wanting me to make. And that could be because I'm not very smart, and I'm willing to concede that, okay? So, you know, I think some of the information in here is good. I do think visually this is like a little text heavy. I don't understand that this sounds better in Spanish. I don't know if that's a catchphrase or something of the Kardashians, which again exposes my ignorance. But you know, we get some stuff in here about her having taken Spanish, you know, and this is a life-saving book. So I kind of like the overall idea. You know, this book can be life-saving even for somebody like this, therefore you should buy it. I think we're getting there. But again, I thought in the explanation, it was less solid than this group's, even though I thought this one was perhaps a little more creative in its presentation. All right, and then Michelle Obama down here with all these happy kids. See them? They're so, look, this guy, right? He can't contain himself. Okay, these are happy kids we're talking about. this group's, again, I thought their talk about ethos and the artistic and inartistic aspects, I thought were really good. They mentioned the shared cultural values, and they used the language really well that we're trying to shoot for. Okay. Again, as we talked in class, I do feel like, is it a McDonald's ad? Is it a Let's Move ad? I feel like these have equal presence, and it's tricky. The quote is about McDonald's, right? And so maybe if we left this part off, I don't know, and added one more little piece up here somehow, try the McRib today, or I don't know, whatever it might be. Maybe that would help, or I assume it's not a McRib. They have something McHealthy, like, McVegan chips or something. That might be good, okay? So I'm conflicted, right, about the way this was pulled off, and I'm conflicted about the way this one was explained, okay? And overall, I thought third bells were a little bit stronger than sixth bells, which is kind of unusual, okay? I think the way I'd like to have it work is I'd like to bring each of these two groups, Kim Kardashian and Michelle Obama, to the boardroom just for a practice run. And I think what we'll do is the two project managers for these groups, which I think is Katie and Gavin, have them each pick one person to bring back with them. And we'll practice on Friday how to make the best argument for yourself. We'll have 4 people there in the boardroom, okay? We won't fire. We'll wait till the argument unit to fire. But you can be thinking of who to bring, and if you get brought, be thinking of how to successfully defend concisely your contribution to your team, okay? All right, I think that's everything. Be nice to Ms. Youngmeyer, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.